Welcome, dear viewers, to Let's Role Play Pillars of Eternity with me, Liberticus, as the narrator. This is a story of adventure, pure and simple adventure. If this interests you, I hope you'll stay a while and listen. If you prefer doing the adventuring yourself, then by all means, take a look at Pillars of Eternity yourself. Are you comfortable? Yes? No? Alright then, let me introduce our main character. His name is the Grinch, and the name might sound strange to humans, but among his race called Orlans, it's perfectly normal. You can think of Orlans as small cat people. They're half the size of humans, with hair-covered bodies, large ears, and night vision. Also, the Grinch is a wizard, a magic user who casts spells from his grimoire. He is an inhabitant of a world named Eora. He's currently in the region known as the Eastern Reach, traveling with a caravan. The caravan is on its way to the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad, looking for a fresh start. Unfortunately, the Grinch has caught some kind of illness. He's sweating and shivering. Furthermore, there's a tree blocking the path, so the caravan master decides to make camp then and there. After setting up camp, the caravan master, Odima, addresses everyone gathered around the campfire.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there. Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing, so mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
He then turns to the Grinch.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards, unless you don't drink water, course, which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
Odima looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfell, who carries an old sun-bleached bow.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Sparfell nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Odima also tells us that the ruins over the hill are of Engwithian origins. Back in the days, they contained treasures, but those are long gone, taken by scavengers. They might have missed something, but it's dangerous to enter the ruins. You see, they're guarded by crazed religious fanatics, or so Odima claims. He also warns of winds called Beowick, winds born of the ether, or the spirit's path, whatever that means. Odima wants someone to go with the Grinch to protect him from danger while looking for the berries.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayadin should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beowick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
The Grinch and Kalisha slowly make their way over to Hayadin, the man who sells supplies. he seems fascinated by a tear in his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
Hiedan is pleasant to talk to and do business with, but seems incredibly naive about the world and about people. While the Grinch is a bit of a cynic, he decides not to comment. Because some people take criticism way too seriously. Getting the cure is all he cares about right now. While Kalisha and the Grinch search the forest, one eye open for the berry bush and the other for dangerous foes, I wish to remind you of something, dear viewer. Their world is different from our own. Of course, they must be on their guard against creatures of the forest, but also against bandits, be they human or of some other race. Traveling from one village to another is dangerous and might cost the traveler their life. That's why the Grinch chose a caravan to travel with instead of going alone. While walking into a clearing, they come upon a young wolf feasting on the corpse of a deer. Kalisha draws her sword and charges the wolf, while the Grinch readies his scepter and prepares to unleash his arcane spells on the beast. All the hours spent reading through thick tomes and in silent meditation to become in tune with the magical energies flowing through himself and through the world would be tested right here, right now. The wolf makes a running leap towards Kalisha, and she meets it with her sword. Simultaneously, the Grinch unleashes a stream of pure arcane energy towards the charging wolf. The wolf bursts into flames and dies? It leaves a very confused Grinch to ponder what just happened. He's been in a few fights, but he never beat his foes so completely into the ground. Kalisha is impressed, but also reluctant to show it. They easily find the berry bush, and by then, the curiosity is killing Kalisha. She decides to ask some questions. She asks the Grinch about his past, and he reveals he used to be a spy. His last assignment was something he just would not do, and his employers didn't like that. So, he hitched a ride with a caravan to the frontier. It should be pretty hard to find him there. He doesn't have any plans. He'll probably run into some trouble on the frontier, because it seems like trouble comes to him wherever he goes. Kalisha is on her way to see her sister in Gilded Vale, who probably needs help with something. She also heard some rumors about people having trouble giving birth there, and apparently it's getting worse. Then they move on to find Sparfell and get some water. They find a stream and Sparfell's water skin easily enough, but no Sparfell. Apparently, he went hunting. The Grinch proceeds to fill the water skin by the river while Kalisha waits nearby. Suddenly, Sparfell emerges from the forest. His bow is nowhere to be seen. He's stumbling uncertainly and breathing heavily. Kalisha calls out to him,
Sparfell, are you alright?
but gets no answer. His toe catches on a rock and he collapses forward in a heap. They see an arrow shaft sticking out between his shoulders. They're caught in an ambush. Two bandits have snuck up on them while they were looking at Sparfell. Kalisha charges the swordsman and swings her sword at him. That leaves the bowman to the Grinch. The Grinch casts a shield spell to minimize the damage of the arrows and takes a few running steps against the bowman to draw his attention. Sure enough, the bowman fires an arrow against the Grinch, but the shield spell holds and it does no damage. The Grinch points his scepter towards the bowman and channels his magic through it. A burst of arcane energy hits the bandit in his chest and explodes, creating a gaping hole in the bandit's chest. The Grinch quickly turns around and fires another burst at the sword-wielding bandit and sends him to his death in a burst of flames. The Grinch is amazed at his own effectiveness, thinking how he should take a magical strength test as soon as possible, when Kalisha exclaims,
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
"Right, the bandits are probably going to attack the camp." While moving towards the camp, they meet another group of 3 armed men on the way. They dispatch the men easily. These men aren't bandits though. They seem to be Glenfathans, the so-called fanatics guarding the ruins. The Grinch and Kalisha arrive too late. They find the campsite littered with the remains of their fellow travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts. Kalisha seems like she might be ill, covering her mouth with her hand, while the Grinch stares grimly at the massacre. A handful of Glenfathans move among the fallen, treading on limbs, backs and heads, jerking their axes from the bodies. One of them, perhaps their leader, holds a bloody blade against Hieron's throat, possibly the only survivor from the caravan.